All right, it's time to make it rain in your business. We are gonna make more money today by watching this video. That's the goal, how to make more money in your business. Hey everyone, my name is Eddie Hood. I am the CEO of Ignite Spot Outsourced Accounting, and I know how preposterous that intro was, but it is true. This video is about helping you make more money in your company. As an accountant, that is my job, to help you make more money, get more profitable, all of that stuff. So let's get started. There are two costs in your business. Now these are costs that you need to really understand, and most business owners actually do not. So we're gonna get down to bare basics here for just a second. You have fixed costs and you have variable costs. Now we've talked about these in the past. I'll get through this quickly so we can get on to more interesting stuff. Fixed costs are the kinds of costs that you incur no matter what you do as a business. If you come into work that day or not, if you sell stuff or you don't sell stuff, doesn't matter, you're still going to have these costs every month without fail. Those include things like rent, utilities, most of your insurance, those kinds of things. They're not going away, they're fixed. The second cost is a variable cost. Now I use the mug all the time, the UROC mug. So again, you incur variable costs only when you make a product and sell it, okay? Or provide your service in whatever form. So variable costs are variable because they change. If you sell more cups, you have more costs. If you sell less cups, you have less costs. Get it? So it's material, it's the labor that goes into making the cup, it's all of that stuff. This is the variable cost. So when an entrepreneur decides, you know what, I really want to make some more money, how do I do it? And they go to their accountant, the accountant almost always says, well, let's start cutting costs. Now there's a couple ways to do this, okay? And yes, cutting costs is a way to make more money because it does increase your bottom line, but there are different tactics to doing this. Now before you go down the road of cutting costs, also know that you can and should increase top line revenue. That is a much better way to increase money, but let's get into the cutting costs thing here. So when people think of cutting costs, they do it the wrong way. Well, let me explain. They go towards the fixed costs, the things that again don't change regardless of what you do, and they try to cut those. So they try to negotiate a better rent each month. They try to get $50 off a month on their utility bill. They try to cut $10 a month off their cell phone bill. They spend a lot of time kind of nitpicking each of these fixed cost vendors to save some money. Now, you'll get a little headway here, but understand this, there's only so much you can cut in the fixed cost world. Otherwise, you're gonna get kicked out of your space. The utilities are gonna get turned off because they have to charge us, a certain amount of money. So the amount of effort and energy you put into cutting those costs will not provide you a huge return on your time, but it will help. So maybe you'll free up, hit my abacus here, maybe you'll free up $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, I don't know, but that's about as far as you're gonna get. Now, let's get over to the variable costs. So this is where you really start making money. Again, if we're making mugs, the UROC mug, this is where you make money in your business. So you don't really cut costs when it comes to variable costs. At least that's how I think of it. Instead, you control them. So what you want to do is you want to come up with a profitable, predefined, and pre-agreed upon plan or budget for what this cup should cost. And then your job as the business owner, or if you have a controller, that person's job is to control the costs of the production of this mug. To make sure that if you've set aside 25 cents to make this mug, that it does not cost you 26 cents to make this mug. Now that extra penny doesn't sound like a whole lot right now, but if you make 10,000 of these things every week or every month, that really starts to add up over time. And that savings becomes exponential as you grow your business. So this is where you make a big bang for the buck. You want to control those variable costs. You really want to hone in on them and make sure that you understand what costs are incurred to create your mug, why they're incurred, how they're incurred, where they're incurred from, and try and control each step of that phase of production. Or, if you're a service-based business, if you mow lawns or whatever, same thing. You want to understand why the costs are incurred to mow the lawn, the labor time, the fuel, the maintenance on the lawn, all that stuff, right? Figure that out and control those costs. So here's the thing, once you get your costs controlled and you know that model really well, as you begin to increase top line revenue and those costs stay controlled, I can't do two hands. So revenue goes up and the costs be controlled, and that gap gets wider and wider, which means you're making more and more profit because you're controlling your costs. So at that point, you really want to focus on selling as much stuff as you can. But in the beginning, it doesn't make sense to sell a whole lot of these mugs if they're costing you a fortune and you're only making a penny on them. You want to get the cost figured out first so that you're making $1 on them and then sell the heck out of these things. So that's it. If you want to make more money in your business, control your variable costs. Now again, don't get stuck on cutting fixed costs. You can do that for a little bit, but don't focus on that only. Get really good at controlling the variable costs, and you'll be sitting on a mountain of cash one day, I promise you. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, have fun growing your businesses and stay profitable.